This video is sponsored by Infinity Kingdom. We're about to enter day 50 in server 136 Revival of Cities. The official event is now over and I personally ended up at rank 7. But let's take a closer look at what happened in the server. Last week we were competing in a very bloody Contention of Relics event against the blue faction. How did that end? Did we win? Did we lose? Before starting, I want to tell you that even if the event is now over, and with that also the sponsored weekly videos for Infinity Kingdom, I will keep actively playing in server 136. The truth is that in our alliance we have now a very nice group of people and I'm having honestly a lot of fun with them. The server is still very fresh, so remember that you can join us in server 136, Revival of Cities, Green Faction, Alliance EW, Immortal Warriors. You will find the link to download the game in the video description down below. Without further ado, let's go back to the video. Hello Infinity Kingdom players and welcome back to the final episode of the Revival of Cities event in server 136. During last video you may remember that our faction and the blue faction were battling in a very bloody Contention of Relics, which would have ultimately determined the end of a period of instability in the server. Even though no one was crowned king this time, our alliance members battled like lions, and we managed to be the top performing Green Alliance, even though we are not the first ones in power. Thanks to our collective efforts, we managed with a super clutch move that had everyone glued to the screens to capture the ward's heart at the very last opening and win the Contention of Relics. Our friend and content creator for this event, Clash Bashing, recorded the final moments of this epic battle, and I want to show them to you. If you want to watch his full video, you will find it linked in the video description down below.
And it was a crazy battle, guys. One of our biggest rivals, CHN, was going for it. And once they got that wall down, we went in and we tried to steal the World Heart. And obviously we were successful. I just showed you, we got it. Like, we were trying our best just to overwhelm. And it took a little bit, guys. This was tough. It was crazy. It was just a back and forth, like, tug of war style match. But as you see here, like, we have the numbers, right? Like, we have the numbers over CHN. So you see right there, finally, we captured the World Heart. Crazy, guys. Crazy battle.
From here, a few things happened. All the parties finally found an agreement about the territorial division. If we check the map right now, you can see that the factions were assigned 3 provinces each. Drifta, Ninhursag and Tepoztecan for the blue faction, Hayut, Onrisu and Fornax for the red faction, and Somnus, Azcatl and Sanfides for the green faction. Thanks to our alliance's effort in the recent Contention of Relics that led green faction to victory in the Forbidden Zone, EW earned the territories in the Somnus province, including the provincial capital Daphne, which was previously held by the blue faction, and 404, the first Green Alliance in the server, also gave us this level 8 city right here, which I personally requested because it gives us a 2.5% troops HP bonus, which is very important. In conclusion, we own now 7 cities and 1 provincial capital, so now 8 territories in total, which is the maximum for our alliance level. Among our territories, there are 4 cities buffing our marches. Level 8 Selvans giving us 4% troops attack, level 5 Centicore giving us 3% defense, level 7 Daphne, provincial capital, giving us 6% immortal attack, and level 8 Tishe giving us 2.5% troops HP. We are indeed very happy about this territorial division, and even if we came to this point a bit later compared to other servers because of some drama and some internal issues, let's say like that, with the other factions, which is to be expected anyway in a competitive server like this one, I feel like we are now ready to go into the new chapter of our gaming experience in server 136, which is the server versus server, or like it's called, SVS. Among the other rules of the server, we established that no one is allowed to attack cities belonging to other alliances. We cannot raid active players in any alliance unless there is a kill event going on, in which case either you fight or you shield up, and we can only farm in our territories. In fact, if another player farms in our territory, we are now authorized to attack that specific gathering march. On this note, I really hope my Alliance members will watch this video because there has been a bit of confusion about the rules lately, and I hope this will help sort it out. As I said at the beginning of this video, the Revival of Cities event is now over. I managed to end up personally in position number 7 for the attack points chart, and I have been awarded 3,000 gems, 6 superior speed-ups chests, and 30 raffle tickets, which I will be able to use in the next Thea's Roulette event. On the screen you will find the top 10 players for both the attack chart and the construction chart. So major GGs, major congratulations to the players who managed to place themselves in a good spot on this event. It was honestly very fun and entertaining, and I also hope that everyone who joined our alliance was satisfied with the experience. What's next for me in server 136? What's next for us? As I said, I will keep playing this account. Depending on the server's activity, the leadership of our alliance will decide if to stay here or to move to another server. We will see how it goes. So after 50 days on the server, how are my marches looking? What's next for me? First of all, I'm keeping developing my Earth March, which has been my main march since the start of this server. As I have explained in a previous video where I gave you some tips and tricks on how to grow your march faster and more effectively, this composition I'm using right now is called Earthlies, because I'm using Elizabeth Bathory, which is a Shadow Immortal, in combination with a full Earth team, composed by Cleopatra, Alexander, and Charles, and of course the Earth Dragon. I don't like the Earth Dragon skills too much, to be honest. In the endgame, the Earth team is often neglected because it's not as strong as other teams. That is why I brought up the Dragon skills just to a decent level, 5, 5, 6, and I think I will leave them here for now, and I will keep focusing on my Lightning March, which is, as of now, my secondary march, but I bet it will become my primary march very soon. My Lightning Dragon is already looking quite good, with the skills at 7, 5, 6. The primary skill is very strong because it causes a ton of AoE damage, and this damage will be doubled if the target is stunned, which is also the reason why in my team and in Lightning teams in general, you will find Richard I. Richard's active skill, Heaven's Wrath, has a 40% chance to stun the enemy other than dealing a great physical damage. My Genghis Khan is almost maxed out, I only miss 40 fragments and he will be complete too. I am a bit late with my Peter the Great, since he was the last Lightning Immortal I managed to obtain. It took me a lot of grinding, a lot of Philosopher's Stones, and a lot of luck in the Mysterium when I found the merchants with these fragments. Peter is very, very difficult to get. In fact, I believe I never got a full pool of 60 fragments in the Hall of Immortals for Peter the Great in both my accounts. Peter, together with Julius Caesar and Hippolyta, is among the 3 immortals that are the most difficult to pull with the Philosopher's Stones. Only 0.08% chance to get a full 60 fragments pool for all 3 of them, and 0.43% chance to get 5 fragments of them, which is what I ended up getting every single time. 5 here, 5 there, a few in the Mysterium, and at the end I managed to unlock Peter. The formation that you see on the screen are among the most used for the specific element type. Usually you see Earth teams running Cleopatra and Zenobia in the back, and Charles and Alex in the front. Elizabeth is the variation to Cleopatra or Zenobia, usually Zenobia, but you find Elizabeth in many mixed teams. The Lightning Standard is exactly the one I'm running right now, so YSG and Genghis Khan in the back, with Richard I and Peter the Great in the front line. The water team, before you get Dildo, usually runs Merlin and Yoshi in the back and Harold and Attila in the front line, or Harold and Ramses, or Ramses and Attila. I would say that the most effective would be Harold and Attila, because one debuffs the enemy and the other one hits the enemy very hard. The fire team standard would be Empress Wu and Ashoka in the back, with Cyrus the Great or Gilgamesh, the Holy Immortal, as better and very effective alternative to Ashoka, and William I and Hippolyta in the front line. If you want to see what experienced players are running in the server, I suggest going to the arena, then clicking on ranking on the right side of the screen, and then check the top players' formations. It's unbelievable that some players are already running full shadow marches. Those are so expensive to build up. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to play with us, our alliance is very active and looking forward to continuing our adventure on Infinity Kingdom. You will find the link to download the game in the video description down below. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. Ciao!